You want your home to feel like a sanctuary, so you bring in the oil diffusers, the fresh-cut flowers, and the sprawling houseplants. But those exact items, the things that make your space feel clean and vibrant, are quietly triggering subtle, unexplainable illnesses in your cat. We need to audit what humans assume is safe by testing those items against clinical feline toxicology. The human wellness and home fragrance market is booming, but its products are at war with your cat's biology. Natural does not mean safe. When you optimize your home for human comfort, you are often trading away your cat's health. This chart compares metabolic pathways. Humans easily process plant compounds and medications because our livers produce specific enzymes. Cats lack these enzymes. When compounds hit a cat's liver, the system hits a dead end. The chemicals stack up, getting trapped, and quickly become toxic. This is why highly concentrated essential oils, especially tea tree oil, are incredibly dangerous to have in your home. You cannot treat a cat like a small human or even a small dog. Their internal wiring operates by a completely different set of rules. Without those processing pathways, even a microscopic exposure to something you consider harmless can trigger a systemic, life-threatening crisis. Let's map out common household items on this chart, comparing how toxic they actually are against how safe people assume they are. Up here in the danger zone, highly toxic but assumed completely safe, we find tea tree oil and liquid potpourri. As a diffuser runs, it coats everything in the room, including your cat's fur, in tiny, toxic oil droplets. Later, when the cat predictably grooms itself, it swallows those chemicals directly. You get a living room that smells like a spa, while your cat risks hypothermia, severe depression, and liver damage. The botanical threat is even worse. True lilies and daylilies cause acute, irreversible kidney failure. Even a tiny lick of pollen or a sip of the vase water is enough to shut down their organs. Your visual aesthetics and pleasant scents act as invisible vectors for poison. The threat hides perfectly behind things you inherently trust. Now look at everyday conveniences. We frequently leave pain relievers, like ibuprofen, right on the bathroom counter. Because of that missing liver enzyme, a single dropped pill is enough to cause severe stomach ulcers and rapid kidney failure in a cat. Then there's the multi-pet home problem. Owners will often apply a dog-specific flea medication to their cat, simply to save a trip to the vet. Dog flea treatments usually contain permethrin. In a cat, permethrin wildly overstimulates the central nervous system, causing violent tremors and seizures. By cutting corners and applying human or canine solutions to a feline body, you turn a minor shortcut into a fatal mistake. The most common daily trade-off happens right at the food bowl. Most owners feed their cats exclusively dry kibble because it's cheap, easy, and won't spoil if left out. But look at their evolutionary history. Cats are desert animals. They are built to get almost all their hydration directly from the prey they hunt, not from standing water. Dry kibble contains roughly 10% moisture. Because a cat's natural thirst drive is so low, they simply won't drink enough from a bowl to make up the difference. Living on that dry diet forces the cat into a state of chronic, low-level dehydration, driving up the risk of urinary crystals and kidney disease over time. A dry-only diet requires virtually zero daily effort from you, but the trade-off is the silent, progressive destruction of your cat's renal system. To build a safe environment, you have to be systematic. This flowchart gives us a clear decision tree, starting with airborne threats. If you are running tea tree oil or liquid potpourri, the only valid option is immediate and complete elimination from the home. Moving to medications, the rule is absolute. NSAIDs must be locked in hard-to-reach cabinets. Leaving them out on the counter is no longer an option. Finally, the dietary routine. You must modify an exclusively dry food diet to include daily wet food for proper hydration. Keeping a cat safe isn't about having fast reflexes when an accident happens. It requires deliberately curating your environment long before an exposure is even possible. If you want a holistic home, you have to make a choice. You must sacrifice your essential oils and decorative plants to protect your cat's liver. If you prefer pragmatism, you must give up the convenience of shared pet medications and easy dry-only diets. The idea that a comfortable human home is automatically a safe place for a cat is an illusion. Maximizing your pet's lifespan requires a clear, willing trade-off. You must sacrifice your own minor domestic conveniences to guarantee their biological safety.